Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all participants, especially to our guest speaker today, Ms. Ogee Onazi, a friend, a sister, a member of the Expert Professional and Business Women's Network International. She's welcome to this Expert Professional and Business Women's Network interview one-on-one with Princess Nwakego Ibrahim-Pam. I'm the founder and chairperson of the Expert Professional and Business Women's Network International. This year, we decided to celebrate different women from different backgrounds to share their life stories and experiences with women across the globe. And so today, we're going to listen to Ogee Onazi as she takes us through her life's history. And before that, I want to talk a little bit about the EPBWNI network. The Expert Professional and Business Women's Network International was started in Tunisia in 2013 for the purpose of helping the expatriate spouses that trail their husbands or their wives across countries that are not their home country. We created the network so that we could come together as a group to support one another emotionally, physically, and career-wise to help rebrand ourselves so that when we go back to our home country, would have established ourselves in different fields and fit into the society with our peers that we left behind in our home country. And so through the years, this year will be 11 years in existence, and we are in over 25 countries around the world. We're in Asia, we're in Africa, we're in Latin America, we're in Europe, we're in different parts of the world with different women from different religious, economic, educational background. What do? We support one another by empowering ourselves through our businesses or our careers. And then we also have social services like legal aids for women who suffer from domestic violence and sexual harassment. We also have pro bono psychologists who are anonymous. They don't need to know anything about it, but they will provide help to meet your need, whether you're going through depression, whether you're going through any type of mental health illness. They'll be there to provide the services for you pro bono. So welcome once again to the EPBWNI one-on-one interview with Princess Nwakego Ibrahim-Pam. And so I'm going to welcome our guest today, Mrs. Ogee Onazi, who I'll be pinning with me, and we'll start the interview proper. Ogee Onazi, you're welcome. Ogee Onazi.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here. Someone is saying I can't hear you. I don't know, Ariola.
Can you hear me now, Ariola? Can everybody hear me? If you can hear, please just...
Because I can hear you, so I don't know why I can't hear you.
Maybe her mic. Okay.
Okay, yes, now.
She said now she can hear. Okay, great.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Princess. It's a pleasure being here. Like we joked earlier, the interviewer is now the interviewee.
Yes.
This is what I have been doing, and today you are doing it. So, like I said, we'll go with the flow. I want to say thank you to everyone who has joined the session for this evening. I hope we find it as valuable and interesting as I look forward to. My full names are Ogola Enogenyi Onazi, but everybody knows me as Ogee, which is a short form of Ogola. And I was born in Sokoto, Sokoto town itself, January in the 60s, mid-60s, from parents who are from the Middle Belt, Benue to be precise. I had a short stint in Zaria because I moved there at the age of 3. I was with my uncle, the late Professor Ogee Onazi. So I started schooling at ABU Staff School. And then about 3 years later or so, I moved back to Jos, and I attended schools like Fatima Private School, Ekwa, and then St. John's College. After St. John's College, I worked briefly, internship kind of at Industrial Training Fund, ITF, before I went to the Kano Institute of Higher Learning, where I did a diploma in social works. So I was a welfare officer for a bit, and then somehow the FM station in Kano were looking for OAPs. And someone said to me, I know you're a lover of music, you're into entertainment and all the rest. Maybe you need to go try it out. So I want to say a big thank you to a big brother in Jos, Greg Winfu, because he was part of this move. And so I got into FM Kano and was there for a couple of years before I went back to Jos. And then PRTV, that's the Plateau Radio Television. The FM arm was just starting. That's somewhere in the early 90s. And so I joined that pioneer team that set up that FM. And while I was working there, I was schooling in Unijos. I did my mass comm diploma there. And whilst that course ran through, and I went to the main campus for theater arts, one of those almighty ASU breaks that took so long and we couldn't get back to school. We were at home for almost 6 months, really. And it was at that period that Ray Power FM was being set up. And that was the first private radio station in Nigeria. So they went scouting for people. They had gone to Kano and they had said to them, the person that would have fitted you well has moved to Jos. So they followed me to Jos and we had a discussion. And so I moved to Lagos. And I have been with Dark Communications, owners of Ray Power, AIT, Dasat, Faji, for the past 30 years. And I've risen through the ranks. I mean, I went in as a presenter, producer, newscaster, and grew through manager this, manager that, head of this, head of that, until late last year, December 31st to be precise. I retired as the director, Northern Operations for Ray Power. But while I was there, I was also on TV doing some programs, Cuisine Africana, Business Lunch Hour, and so many other entertainment programs. So that's the brief and short of my work life. There are some things I did in between that also helped me in terms of career, because I was with the African Leadership Forum for about a year or two. That's owned by the former president Obasanjo at Ota. And I took leave of absence from work to join that team. And what that helped me do was exposure to women in leadership, because we're organizing conferences for women parliamentarians, wives of presidents, presidents who were female themselves, and women who had risen through the ranks. So it was a very significant period in my work life, that 1.5 years that I spent there, because it really exposed me to women, the challenges and everything that they've faced. And it brought to bear in my own rising on the job. So that's just about the brief of my work life, except what I now do privately and so on. So as we talk, we'll get to talk about those ones as well.
Thank you so much. What an enriching life for the past 47 years, monitoring and watching you grow in your career is very awesome. So before we go further, I want all the participants to unmute and to say welcome to our special guest speaker today, Ogee Onazi, as we continue after the interaction, and she's going to tell us more about the impact of our work as a woman leader. Thank you. So can you all unmute and just say welcome to Ogee Onazi, our speaker for today.
Hi, welcome.
Thank
Welcome,
you.
madam.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I see Nwesi Briggs, Nkechi, Tina, Pamela. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure having you all here.
Thank you.
Very interesting. Rise to power.
Thank you. Okay, so Ms. Onazi, like we talked earlier on, I want you to run through your 47 years experience as a media professional and also a consultant for women's leadership and empowerment. What are the areas you have invested in women as a woman leader?
Amazing, really, that, you know, the 47 years ran quickly. But I would say that it was spent doing what I love doing. You know, like my family members would say, is there anything else you can do apart from media? As a child, I had already exhibited that storytelling, entertainment. I mean, I was the one that they would play music and I would dance, I would crack jokes and so on. I was fortunate to be a child presenter at the NTA in Jos then. So it got me, you know, into this field of the media. But if there was one thing that pushed me through really is I needed a platform to be able to tell my story, to be able to say, this is me, this is what I love. So this my media journey is passion meets purpose. And everything came together, you know, all through the 47 years, because it was something I really, really loved doing. So I didn't see it as work. It was fun for me. Now, as I grew in the ladder at the workplace, I now realized that it wasn't really, really easy for the women to grow up in the ladder, as it were. But I must give my chairman all kudos, because even as at the time I left, if there were 40 executives in the organization, you close would have 28 as women.
Fantastic.
So yes, well, we're very high in terms of women turnout in leadership position, because he also believed in the fact that if you have it, the woman also has it. So why don't you give her a chance to prove herself? If she doesn't do it, then we know that at least we gave her the chance. And luckily enough for us, all the women that were given responsibility and positions did pretty well in their posts. So, and I must say from the beginning that I'm a go-getter. If I set my mind on something, if I have something to do, never say it's over till it's over. That's me. Never say die. you know. I would try every possible way to see how I can get that thing done. So everybody knows me as being a very independent person. I don't, I'm a team player, yes, but I think I'm 5 steps ahead of the team in case somebody fails me, because I know for sure that being a woman, it's very, very possible that the teammates would look at how they would bring you down. And so I never gave room to say, oh, she failed because she's a woman. You find me 5 steps ahead of you in terms of what to do at any point in time. So for a very long time, really, my being a very independent person, someone who thinks out of the box, and somebody who doesn't give up easily, they were really my driving force. If I don't want to do something, I don't want to do it. And I'll tell you why I don't want to do it, because there are certain things that go against my principle as a person. So, but aside that, I'm ready and ever ready to pick up a challenge and see it get done. So it's been rough, it's been tough, but I'm glad that at least we got through. And it's not easy, you know, clocking the age 60 and then retiring from a job, as we see many people do. So I'm glad that I was able to do that, hale and hearty, and I'm here, you know, doing a whole lot more.
Yeah.
For your organization, I ran with the vision the moment you told me what you were doing.
Yeah.
And as long as it gave space to women to be able to express themselves, to say, here I am, but nobody is hearing me, it was a good opportunity and platform to be able to say, okay, come, we have the platform for you to speak, you know. Your one-on-one interview that you do now is yet another initiative that is good. You know, you're letting people share their story and, you know, share their experiences with others, especially the young ones, so that they know that the journey, you know, to where they aspire to is not child's play. You have to be ready. You have to be ready, because it's not just the men that are, you know, your challenge. The society is your challenge as well. Because the first thing the society throws at you is, but she's a woman, you know? So when opportunities come, the first thing you hear is there no guy who can do it? Is there no man around, you know? So you're always like a second fiddle. You're always like a second choice. But if you prove yourself to be able and have done a couple of things, then it speaks for you. Even when you're not there, sometimes somebody would say, but this lady did this at that time. So why are you not giving her this same opportunity? So when you told me about this years ago, I mean, I was for it. As long as it was, you know, showcasing women and putting them out there for the world to see, I was for it. And I must say that it's been an incredible journey, being a member and a consultant as well.
Thank you so much. So it's so interesting to hear you. The guest we had last week was also in the media field, and it just resonates with me. You know, she's here, Liz is here, you know, what you're saying and how she also expressed her journey as a journalist in Ghana, and you are in Nigeria, and the story is not different from each other. And
no.
through your struggles, what are your advice to the women you find along the path of your career. The younger women who resilience and understanding of what journalism and communication and media is all about. How have you been able to impart and bring them up in such a way that they can be as steady and professional as you have been through your years of career?
One thing I always say to the young ones when they come in, media is not a lazy man's job. People see media as something casual, something you can just glide through. But it takes more work. And for my generation that started working in the media when we didn't have the internet, that is where your resilience and tenacity starts from. Because we did a lot of research and reading to be able to give the audience what they want.
Yeah.
Our teachers then used to always say to us, listen, when you're on air, the likelihood of a professor, a doctor, somebody who is in that same field with you, or somebody who knows more than you is actually listening to you. So if you don't read and research, you're likely not going to give the kind of information that the person will be drawn to. And so with the advent of internet now, everything is at the tip of your hand. And I must say that with all the years of experience that I've got, if you are reading off a paper to me, I know what you're doing. If you have read that thing on the internet and internalized it, and then you're talking to me as a listener, I feel it. And I know that you understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
So it's not an easy man's job or your man's job. And it's a job that I get called 2 a.m. sometimes. It's a job that I go on a Monday and I may not go back till Wednesday. So in our younger days, we used to always carry backpacks. You know, there used to be the butt of the joke that, you know, we don't dress well and things like that. It's not. It's because you are on the go at any time. So in my backpack, I had change of clothes. I had, you know, anything I would need to freshen up.
I see Liz nodding her head in agreement with what you're saying.
Because I could go to work on a Monday and the person who is to take over from me does not turn up. And the way we're trained, you don't leave until your reliever comes. So you find yourself working the extra shift. And by the time you're done with that shift, you most probably will not be able to go home again. So we had sleeping bays in the office. You just sleep and, you know, play around with your colleagues, catch some few naps, wake up, and it's time for your original shift the next day. So you can't come unprepared. So there's a lot of work in the media. It's not just, you see, I see young people coming in. They start from radio, but they are drawn with the glamour of TV, and they want to run there. Meanwhile, some of us in our years in the media ran from TV to go and hide in radio because you don't have the kind of privacy that you even want. Once you're on TV, everybody knows you. You are in town. I stopped to buy corn and everybody is saying, see Ogee buying corn. Oh, see this. And it doesn't give me the privacy that I really like. So it got to a point I pulled back from TV because I wanted to live my life. I mean, if I want to wear jeans 7 days a week, let me wear jeans and t-shirts 7 days a week. But I'm on radio, I read my news, I run my shift, I do my programs, and I'm quite fine. You know, so it's not a lazy man's place. And I keep emphasizing this because the young ones come in
Yeah.
And they are as vulnerable as can be.
Mm.
So when the Ogas, the top Oga, sees that they can push you a little and get to you, you start needing to be their friends to be able to get what you want. And once you start it at an early age, it becomes a lifestyle and becomes what you do all through your life to be able to get something that maybe if you had slowed down a bit, you would have found out that you had it. And you didn't need to trade it off by sleeping with him or doing any other thing. So you find a lot of them coming in not really sure what they want. And then when they come, the trade-off becomes too expensive to cope. So it's media work is something that you need to be ready for and be passionate about. Because if you're not passionate about it, you will leave or make nonsense of yourself very, very early in life.
Thank you for that. I hope all the young ladies and women here aspiring to be a journalist or a media consultant or a newscaster, we heed to this advice. Be steady, take it slowly, work hard. Hard work pays. It takes time, but it will surely come from the interviews I've had. All the successes have taken 3-4 decades for these powerful women to be where they are today. So as we talk about your work in the media, can you take us through the breaking of the glass ceilings? What were the glass ceilings you needed to break to be where you are after 47 years in the media?
The idea that you can't push or shove me. I mean, I'm a handful. I walk into the room for my height alone. You can't tell me that you didn't see me. You see me. There's a presence. Yeah. And I'm not coming asking. I'm not coming begging. I'm coming with what I have to put on the table. So you don't shove me aside. You don't shut me up. I'm always there to say, listen to me. This is my opinion. And I think if we go this way, we most probably also will achieve something. Yeah. So it doesn't help when you walk into a room and you are so cowed by the young men sitting on the table. You just keep nodding. You don't say anything. You don't contribute. Once I know there's a meeting that is going to be held on a particular topic, like I say, I am 5 steps ahead of just about anybody. I want to know where it has been tried. What was the success? How did it happen? And I'm willing to put myself there. So if you come and you're willing to do the job, it's very rare for them to say, this woman thing doesn't even tie to me, because I think I was too much of a tomboy anyway for you to want to rope me into being a female. I mean, it took a while before I could start wearing skirts like a woman. I was always in my trousers, ready to go with my face cap and everything. So you can't really, but honestly, for me, it was the presence. You just needed to know that I was there. And the fact that I am quiet sometimes, because sometimes I'm an introvert, largely an extrovert, but I was always there. I was always there.
So the men were intimidated by your height and your presence of knowing what you want to do and how you want to do it.
They know that I know it, so they can't shut me out. So you don't come. Of course, I'm not all-knowing, and nothing really stops me from, even before that meeting, I could go meet a friend who is male and say, come, this thing, why does it work like this? Or why is it like this? Because any knowledge gained is good for you.
Yeah.
But I mean, I won't go and say, oh, Mr. B told me this or Mr. A. It becomes mine. I own it and I tell you. And I tell you with so much confidence that you are saying, come on, where did you, So I was there. Even when people were shying away from doing things, because I always see, small opportunities as something that I don't let pass me by. Because those small opportunities can open big opportunities for me.
True.
So even when people are running away from knowing something or doing, I'll give you an example. When the computer, laptops started coming out, it became, something that was being used in our area, internet and things like that. And I signed up for a course. My colleagues were like, you too like book, you like reading too much. What do you want to do with this, But at the end of the day, what I could achieve using the knowledge I knew of computer and Excel, I will never forget. I changed the face of the programming schedule for the station within 3 months.
Fantastic.
Until today, that's what everybody is using.
With
because I understood how to use Excel,
providing training opportunities as well.
I created a very simple spreadsheet for the program schedule that we were using on the station. And everybody was like, it doesn't take me long to take minutes to type it out and it's produced. These were things that my colleagues were running away from. But that taking minutes and producing records was also another thing that propelled me to prominence. Because even while I was just at the manager level, I was being called for meetings of executive directors, of directors. When they say who will be secretary to this committee, my name pops up in like 2-3 places. And I'm like, what? They say, no, when she takes minutes, she captures everything and she will produce the minutes for you. She will do this, she will do that. And you see, I tell these young ones, whatever you learn along the way is here, is in your brain, is in your head. When you're leaving that organization, nobody is going to open it and say, okay, you got this here, we got this here. No. So get as much knowledge as you can because it's for your own good.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. While you're taking some drinking water, if there is a question from the audience, please, this is the right time for you to ask her while she takes a breather. So you can unmute and ask your questions or your contributions before we move on with the interview. Yes, Liz, please.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Liz.
And I'm glad to be here. And it's interesting listening to Madam. Well done, Madam. Congratulations. I know that in the media front, it's not easy to climb up the ladder because it is a male-dominated area. And it was a male-dominated area. When we went into the media, you're talking about 47 years ago. And with the media, you think that it's a bed of roses, like she said, but in the bed of roses, there are thorns. And so to make your mark, you have to be on top of things. And she has expressly told us exactly what she did to be where she is. So I just want to congratulate her. I just want to say that we should continue to reach out to the younger ones. The younger ones always think that they see the glamour, they see you on TV, they see you speaking well, and they think that that is it. But there's more work, like she said, there's a lot of reading. Even today with the internet, you can Google and find out anything and be on top of your game before you even appear on the radio or on TV. Congratulations, Madam. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Any other person? Any other questions or contributions from what Ms. Ogee and Onazi have shared with us? Do you want to ask her any?
Yes, I would like to ask a question. If you look at the current situation, and you look at the situation of the younger generation, what do you think is the most important thing that we need to do to ensure that we are able to
Okay. So if there are no questions, we go on now to talk about I know that we've been together for quite some time, so I know a lot of the entrepreneurship organizations you have and all the innovative organizations you run. Can you please tell us about this entrepreneurship and innovative organization you run for young girls, women, and boys?
Okay. It actually started 10 years ago. I set up Izano Leadership and Peace Initiative. It was a two-pronged, idea. One, I wanted a platform to be able to talk to the children because I see adults misbehaving, and I'm saying it will take a longer time to mold an adult. But if you can catch the young ones and mold them right, then they grow up into responsible adults. So the first target for Izano initiative is kids between age of 6 to 13 and then 18 to 25 who are young adults. And we basically do, themes like leadership, morals. And for me, morals was very, very important because I was beginning to see a lot of decadence in the society where you see a young child of 6 walk into a room and doesn't have the need to say good afternoon to people who are senior to him or her. Young ladies in my office will walk past me and say hi, and I call them back and I say, I am not your mate. Don't say hi to me. Instead of saying hi, just walk past me. But if you really want to say hello, tell me good morning or good afternoon, but don't say hi to someone who is older than you. You walk into a room, we were brought up to get up when an elderly person walks in. You see young children these days don't do it. Adults are having conversations and children are butting in, saying what they want to say. I'm sorry, maybe I'm from the old school, but there are ways of doing things. So I was heavy on the moral side of having them understand that integrity, character, all molds into you being a good leader tomorrow, whether in your home, in your school, or in the society. So the kids from 6 to 13 are our main focus. The young adults are now taught the principles of servitude, because if you are not willing to serve and make your community what it should be, the community will make you what it wants you to be. It will define you. So at the age of 18 to 25, we focus on letting you know that you can be a servant leader by being available, by doing things right, by leading by example. And so if they start imbibing these principles at this age, they grow up to be well-groomed men. I watched a video that broke my heart the other day, and a young boy of 13 or so was beating a young girl. And his friends were busy rooting for him. He had no remorse on his face. He got to the point where he removed his belt and was belting the girl. And I'm saying to myself, he couldn't have slept, woke up, and then picked up this habit or attitude. He must have seen somebody do it. And so for him, this is normal. So there's so many things for me that pushed me into setting up this NGO, this initiative, and pulling kids to camp and having to, take them through peaceful dialogues, how to communicate, how to talk without being violent, how to become advocates of peace, so that some of the things we see now, Princess, in our generation, we grew up, we didn't really, know or care, should I say, where you're from.
No.
Our friends came from everywhere.
Yeah.
I think it was of recent, maybe 15, 20 years ago, that we started realizing that, oh, this person actually came from this state or that state or so on. So it's and then, in our society now, we have a lot of things tied to ethnicity, religion, and to think that we grew up with this. I mean, I would go to my Muslim friend's house and sit with them on the mat, and I was learning the Quran. But when the Malam beats us and we come home crying, my dad will say, I didn't send you now. You're supposed to be a church girl. But it was all fun because we were friends. They were learning. I went to go and learn Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We sang all the songs as kids. But now we're quick to say, oh, he's Igbo, he's Yoruba, he's Hausa, it's something that we need to start teaching the young ones. Like I say to people, I find it very hard describing myself as a particular region or state. Yeah. Like I said, my parents are from Benue, but I was born in Sokoto. I've lived all my life in the north. Yeah. I've spent 16 years in Lagos. I spent 7 years in Port Harcourt. I mean, I've been around. Yeah. I would proudly put myself out there as a Nigerian. That is what is paramount to me. Yeah. Teach these children how to be Nigerians first, but don't let them lose their origin or root. Yeah. So even when we are in camp, we teach them the different languages, culture, dressing, so that we appreciate what the other person eats, why he wears those clothes, why they mean, things to him, places of relevance in the states and things like that. So that even as a Nigerian, when somebody says, I come from Akwa Ibom, he can still tell you the story of Akwa Ibom proudly. But let's first teach these children how to present themselves as Nigerians. And then we have the women that we empower, and then the young girls, so that, they get skilled as well at a very young age. So there's a lot of hands-on, sewing, embroidery, plaiting, and things like that being taught the young girls so that they can earn money. Because money is a language that the society uses as a weapon to bring women down to the level they want them to. So if you can empower the woman or the young girl at an early age, and she has something she's doing, then she can ride above that being subjected to that weapon of poverty.
Thank you. I just like the passion and the conviction in which you're expressing your work, your commitment to entrepreneurship and innovation towards younger women and women in general. And, I just wanted to say thank you for the work you do. There are lots of women like you doing their little bits at the right time, at the right places, that are actually creating some waves of change in our different societies. So I just want to say thank you. Don't be discouraged. You might not see the impact. Like when I started the Expert Professional and Business Women's Network 13 years ago, if anybody had told me the impact I was going to make, I wouldn't have believed it. And if I'd given up because I wasn't getting the traction I was looking for, we won't be here today. And I won't be this
Yeah.
person that I am, that have the influence and the capacity to reach out to women in different continents and different countries in the world. So I just want to encourage you, keep doing what you're doing at this level. Gradually, you find like-minded people like I have found in the network who has collaborated with me, who is working hand in hand with me to ensure that my vision for empowering women and creating a safe space for women is attained. So I just want to open the floor for the audience if they want to add anything or say anything before we go to the concluding aspect of this interview.
I would need to, even at this point, say thank you. You have been an inspiration and you've been of great support. You know, truly, there has been times when it hasn't been easy. I mean, I spend out of my pocket, out of the little I have to ensure that the programs run. And like you said, you know, is to keep going.
Yeah.
But once you believe in something, you don't give up. Yeah. And I'm seeing the outcome. When I see 2, 3 girls doing well after going through my tutelage, I feel happy and I want to do more, you know? So it's I just want to also say thank you before I don't have the opportunity to say it again.
Thank you. And it's always been a pleasure working with you. And I appreciate the urgency in which you respond to my call at each time I call out to you. So are there questions or encouragement for Ms. Onazi? Anybody wants to shout out to her or ask a question? Okay, it seems everybody's enjoying your story so far. So, as we come to, okay, okay, let me read what somebody's writing. Okay, Ibrahim-Pam said, thank you for sharing your achievements and insight. Ms. Ogee, I like when you said passion meets purpose. Can you please tell us a particular story you felt especially passionate about during your career?
A particular story? Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Yes, a particular story you felt especially passionate about during your career.
Oh, I'll talk about the HIV period. I had a couple of friends who had HIV. And because, like I always say, when you read a particular topic, it helps you know how to cope. So I had some friends in the entertainment industry who unfortunately got the HIV. And the fact that I was hanging around with them, some of my colleagues in my office were kind of, you know, pulling back away. And so an idea came to me that the knowledge you have about HIV can be put into a series of programming. And if it is possible, get those who have the virus to come and tell us what their problems are and how they're coping. And so I got into a series of programs that I was producing that was educating the public about HIV, what to do, what not to do, how to even survive when you have it. So I have some friends now who have been positive for 30 years, 40, 25, and they're still alive. But what we were told was once you get it, that's all, you can never, you know? So if I was not passionate about getting information out to the public, I think 80% of my being in the media was using it as a platform to inform people Once I have knowledge about something, I want to share it. And the fastest way you can do it is the media.
Yeah.
So I come up with tons and tons of ideas of programming that can be done to cater to a particular set of people or to tell a story. And I must say that that series, got me a couple of awards and threw me a bit into prominence. The second passion meets purpose is that as a young girl, I was like a counselor. I had a program that I was running at the graveyard shift, and it runs from about 1 a.m. to like 3 a.m. or 4. And it was adult talk. Oh, my wife did this. Oh, my boyfriend did this. We talked about everything. And I was advising them, don't do this, do that. In fact, when people meet me and say, you mean it is you, young girl, that is doing this? My take has always been, it's happening to my neighbor, so it can't happen to me. Don't ever have that kind of feeling. Don't ever say it is her marriage that has a problem. It can never be mine. Because you don't understand what your own trip or journey would be.
Yeah.
So I learn from everybody, from young, from old. When I hear adults talking about problems they have, I listen. And we discuss. And we tend to know what solutions are. So it was an adult session. And I ran it for like 6 years because the chairman won't even let me go off the shift. I think the Ogee Onazi that you know today is thrown into limelight and known because of that graveyard shift that I was running and being a counselor to people with relationship problems. So the passion you have about something will always meet your purpose. My purpose is to leave the world a better place than I met it. And so in any way that I can make your home happier, I've done my bit. In any way that I can turn a young girl that was going astray because of wrong principles and ideas, if I can pull her back and make her a better person, and she turns out to be, somebody that is independent, influential, knows her way and gets things going, it makes me happy. So happiness for me that fulfillment comes from just creating, like you say, those pockets of change around people and around me and in people.
Thank you so much.
Can I say something?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Please.
Yeah, sorry, I have a few minutes, so I'm able to join in and just say,
Go ahead.
I've known, my name is Nkechi Onazi. I've known Ogee for close to, let's say close to 40 years now. And one thing I want to say about her is, I've never known her to have a no in her dictionary, like it's not possible. When you talk to some people, they'll tell you this is not possible, it's not done. No, she doesn't have that. She always looks for that possibility of, she always has a way of, even if it's not possible, let's find out how we can change that. So that, and I gravitate a lot to people like that with positive mindset and not being judgmental, So I think these qualities they've helped shape who she is in her career and in her general life. If you have a problem, that's one stop you want to make with Ogee, because she will look for that solution with you and get it done. And I just want to appreciate her for that. I don't want to go in on how I know her, but everybody most people on this platform, we know So this is who she is from my own lens, from my own eyes, from my own interaction with her. And I want to appreciate her for that. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
It's always good for people to, tell people these things while they are alive. I have a principle, and I know my kids and most of my very close friends, they know. I say, tell me how much you love me while I am alive. When I'm dead, I cannot hear it, I cannot feel it, and there's no need to waste your time. So, so when you have opportunity to tell people how much you love them, how much you appreciate them, how much they mean to you while they are alive, you've done your duties, there's being dead and people coming to cry and bringing roses, and it doesn't mean anything to that person anymore. So Nkechi, I really appreciate what you've done for Ogee today, just telling her and reinforcing her self-esteem and encouraging her in the work that she's done. And her personality. It's her personality that drew me to her, even though she's much older than me. But when we talk, I think because we share the same trait, we just flow, and I've worked with her for God knows, when I'm in a tight corner, I just call her and she will answer promptly. And I want to say thank you for that. So is there somebody who wants to say something before I move into the last segment?
I just wanted to add that that's a great testimony for Madam Ogee.
Yeah.
I appreciate Nkechi. It's good to appreciate those who appreciate others. It just tells the kind of person they are.
Yeah.
This is Liz. You're trying hard.
Yeah. Yes, so those are my women. They will not let me go.
Let me just, chip in what you said. 2024 was a very turbulent year for me health-wise. And I just kept saying, God, please, next year I'm clocking 60. Let me see it and many more, because I still have so much to do.
Exactly.
And so I asked my friends to send me their thoughts about me. And I have this little book, of goodwill messages. And like you rightly said, it was nice. I sit down and I read that book, over and over. Yeah. And I get to know what people think about me and how they feel. I mean, even if they were, just showcasing me, but at least I think 80% of them would have been honest enough to have said, this is what I feel about you. Yes. And it's good to celebrate people when they're around. It's good to say thank you, I love you, God bless you. When people are here to listen, So I just quite agree with you on that one. Yeah.
Let me make you laugh. During my 50th, when I did the same experiment, asking all my friends to write something about me, and as I was reading all the accolades and all the prayers, and one word stood out for me. You're such a strong woman. You're this strong woman. You're that now. And that was a realization. And I said to myself, Kego, you're not a strong woman. I'm a normal woman. I don't want to be a strong woman. You understand? Because I will want my friends and my peers to know that I present a strong front doesn't mean that my life is all together. I want them to know that I also experience the ups and downs that they do experience. But the only thing that is different for me is my attitude. I learned very early on in life, my mother said, look, you don't carry your problems on your forehead. I have friends sometimes, they will call me up. I have just finished doing my own crying. But once I see the phone call, I'll pick it up and you see me in my own tears comforting them. And they will not know I've just finished crying or I've just been lying down since morning. I've not been able to stand up from bed, So it's very important that even these feedbacks help you to reposition yourself. So I told myself, I'm not that, I don't want to be that superwoman. I don't want to be that strong woman. I want to be an ordinary woman who people can see as being vulnerable, who falls and stands, who crawls and runs I don't want people to have this imagination, oh, she's so strong, she can go. No, I have my moments, but it's not in the purview of everybody. It's in the secrecy of my home and in my small corner. So it's very important that people give you feedback, and so that you can readjust yourself too. So I had a good laugh. And since then, I tell I'm not a strong woman. Me too, I know how to cry.
And something we need to learn to do is to actually celebrate each other. Let's learn to celebrate each other. When a woman does something that is good, we should be able to say, well done. For you to have stood firm and have achieved this, well done.
Yeah.
But we're quick to say, what has she done? Who is she the only one that has done it? We're quick to run down people when you yourself have not been able to do it. Just acknowledge that somebody has done it, because you don't know in what struggle or pain she has gotten that thing that, she has now. So we need to learn to celebrate women. And that's why I'm so happy about this platform that you've created, celebrating women in their various fields. We get to hear their story. We get to share. So you are not alone. And that, somebody is, maybe as at the time you're interviewing somebody is really down and feeling, really out of breath and so on. And then you listen to this guest and there's a breath of fresh air, and then you pick up and want to do something again. So we need to learn how to celebrate women as well.
Honestly, I love celebrating women. I love collaborating. I tell women you cannot stand alone. Like when we started the network in Tunisia, I arrived Tunisia and I was up and running and doing things. And I looked back and I saw that there were expatriate spouses like me that were in Tunisia for the past 10, 15, 5 years, and they've not been able to stand up on their feet. And I said, no, it's not right to be the king in the land of the blind, or to be the everybody coming to you. So the idea came to just come together, and these were highly educated people. And by the time we came together, 25 of us from 18 countries, if I tell you the places where these women are today, you will be amazed what we can do for each other. You will be amazed. So let's please help one another actualize themselves. The sky is enough for every woman. We're not competitors. We're collaborators. We are equals. We're witnesses to each other's strengths and progress. Once we have the opportunity, we should go with the person. We should be a helping hand to them. Yes, my honorable Patience Ventu wants to say something. Please unmute.
Edo, thank you very much. I must apologize because I came into the session rather late and I'm still at work, so I can't put my camera on.
Okay.
But I just wanted to, join everybody else in celebrating Ogee Onazi. And I'm going to give you a little historical background here. I like to be a little bit of a storyteller. So although I'm from Plateau State, I didn't grow up in Plateau State. I was born and bred in Zaria. And I always just used to come back home to visit and go back. And that went on, all through, even when I was in secondary school, although I went to Gindri, I just used to come from Zaria and pass through and go back. So it wasn't until, I came to Jos to do my undergraduate that I started interacting with children who grew up in Jos, in Plateau State, those who were born and bred there. And, these children included Ogee Onazi. And I used to find these Jos kids very obnoxious. Honestly, I used to think they were very obnoxious, coming from Zaria, a very multicultural university setting, where everybody got along, nobody put their noses in the air or any such thing. When I came to Jos, I thought, it's just people said. But the striking thing for me is I sat with Ogee with Ogee in different settings, right? She was friends with my sisters, and I would listen to their conversations. And there were times when there were debates, there were arguments, but she stood out for me. And at some point in my life, I started to think, very interesting. She's different because her views somehow always aligned with mine. I always seemed to agree with, everything that she said. And Ogee, you're probably hearing this for the first time. This was the starting point of inspiration for me from Ogee Onazi. And then when she went on radio, and went into broadcasting, I wasn't surprised, and it's that inspiration that drew me to her. It is that inspiration that has kept me following her broadcasts on Facebook. But the motivation that she exudes is beyond me, to be honest. There are times when I've been on your broadcast, Ogee, on Facebook, and there's been 2 viewers, maybe 2 of us watching. But she never stopped. And I always used to think to myself, why aren't people logging in? People should be listening to this. This is how we miss messages, especially as women.
Yep.
And this is where the very strong points that you make about support comes to play.
Yeah.
Because if we don't support each other, we will not learn from each other. If we don't support each other, we are only missing out on the goodness that comes out of other people, the rich flavor that comes out of other people. And if you're like me, it is those rich flavors that have helped me thrive, that have helped me grow. Because when I go on to say something somewhere or do something somewhere, there's always the picture of someone that comes to my head. I could be in that instant an Ogee Onazi because I remembered something that somewhere that resonated with me. Or I can be in that instant, a Princess Nwakego, Ibrahim-Pam, because I remembered, because I was there. So that support is, I think, the key thing that I want to emphasize this evening, but also to celebrate Ogee for the inspiration that she's been to many of us who have followed her, who have, come behind her. And for me, she is a giant on whose shoulders we are riding on. And thank you very much. I'm sorry again that I missed the start of this talk, but it's been recorded and I will go back and watch it.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Patience.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Page.
It's so true. It's so true. I have enjoyed the support of women from different countries. Without the support of these women from different continents and countries, I won't be receiving the awards. I won't be part of their lives, helping to change their lives or their perception or their mindset. So it's very important. Having worked with Ogee for quite some time now, we don't care about numbers. We're never deterred about numbers. Ogee can speak to herself. If you like, listen to her. If you like, don't listen to her. When you want to listen to her, you go and find her video. And that's one thing I've always admired about her. She's not a number person. She's not a crowd puller, but she's a crowd maker, So thank you for being who you are. And thank you for honoring our invitation. So before we round this up, there's something we usually do. And especially for women like you that have attained retirement, we just want you to talk a little
Somebody
bit.
is raising her hand up.
Okay, please. Oh, Tina. Oh, so sorry, Tina.
Okay, this is my second time on here. Liz invited me the first time, and then listening to Ogee also, I just feel inspired. And I also want to congratulate you for your courage, your focus, your initiatives, and your achievements, and the positivity that you exude. So congratulations, and keep on keeping on. A lot of children need you. A lot of women, girls need you because they need that support when, they falter a little bit. They need that support from people that they can look up to. So congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you
Sorry,
very
Tina.
much.
I didn't want to look over you. It just skipped my eyes. Thank you. Okay, so before we go to the final conclusion, is there anybody out there that want to say anything? Final to say thank you, or one word or two? If there isn't, okay. So I'm good to go. So Ogee, thank you. It has been a wonderful 1 hour plus with you. Always speaking with you has been an encouragement. When you know me and you, we chat. We can chat from one discussion to the other. It will not end. But this one has to end since we have other things and our guests, they need to go back to work and other things.
Yeah.
So just share with us your inspiration and how you've been coping with retirement, so that a lot of us who are gearing towards retirement, we also tap into the wisdom of what you have done to prepare yourself for retirement, and then leave us with a word of wisdom and encouragement that we all can go home today and hold it very close to our heart. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Retirement is fun. I wake when I want to wake. I go when I want to go. That's for sure. But a great lesson I learned during the COVID, when people were home, bored, people going into depression, that was actually when my other side came out. Because I was chatting with people and people were complaining about things. That was when my life on social media started. In counseling people, I decided to start doing short videos, talking about issues, motivating people, inspiring people. And that period of COVID was when I registered and became a certified life coach. So today, I have all the time to be able to push my coaching programs to the next level because I have the time. So now I run Hope Rising Network, which is like a support group for male, female, is just a support group. Because whether we like it or not, it's not really all about female. There are men who need help as well. So there's Hope Rising Network, and then there's Discover You. Discover You, because I realized that a lot of women don't come to their full potential. A lot of women live their life designed by what the society feels it should be. So they're dying silently. And if you give them an opportunity to be able to tell you what they want, like what are their aspirations? What is their passion? Have they found their purpose in life? Those three things, if you can answer them, you will find a new you. And so Discover You for me now is where I am. That's the level I am, helping people discover themselves, their potential. We just finished running season 6, and season 7 will soon open. It's usually a 7-day program. And after it, you will see an amazing shift in your personality because we come to you and discover you for who you are. So that's the world that I am living now, of course, with my kids and initiative. But really, it's time to do what I love doing: reading, gardening, cooking, enjoying my music, and making people's life a lot better for them to be able to cope with realities of life. So that's where I am now, and grateful to God for all the strength and energy to be here after retirement. It's just awesome. It's great. I thought it was a long way away, but here we are. It's right here now. So
The way time
it's fun.
flies. It's fun.
Yes.
I just want to say thank you, Ogee. Thank you so much. God bless
you
for honoring our invitation, for being a blessing to those who have attended this interview. As you retire and as you're discovering yourself and as you're imparting the younger girls and women and men and youth that will come to you, may God continue to give you the wisdom, and especially at this period of retirement, that the people who come your way will be able to empower you through your work financially so that you are able to sustain yourself and keep yourself well and healthy. May God continue to bless you. So as we round up this interview, I just want everybody to unmute and say thank you to Ogee, Miss Ogee, for sharing her time with us today, and then I'll round up the interview. So can everybody unmute and just
as
say
you unmute, please go to Facebook, type Ogee Onazi, Ogee Onazi, Onazi, or just search for Discover You. There are 2 pages on Facebook, and you can get to follow me and, you know, be part of all that we do. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Please go on Facebook, follow her, like her, subscribe. Let me do that TikTok thing that they do. Please remember to, when you see this video, you click, you like, and you subscribe, you share. So please go on Facebook, find Ogee Onazi, share, click, and like, and subscribe to her Discover Me
Discover
series.
You.
Discover You series, so that you can discover yourself. And please, when you go on Facebook, also check for EPBWN Facebook page. Like, click, share, and subscribe to our page. This is Women Supporting Women. Ogee, is always to have you. Thank you so much. So, ladies, thank you for coming. It's always been my pleasure. Today's interview was quite enriching, educating, and fun with Ms. Ogee Onazi. Thank you for taking time out from all the various things you were supposed to do and joining us for this 1 hour. I'm the founder and chairperson of the expert. My name is Princess Nwakego Ibrahim-Pam, the founder and the chairperson of the Expert Professional and Business Women's Network International. It is a platform to help build capacity for you. It's a platform for you to showcase yourself. It is free. It is non-profit, non-registered. It's just a platform that gives you an international coverage for whatever endeavors you are involved in. You can reach out to me. We can collaborate with you to organize seminars, workshops, talks, whatever it is that you need to do to be visible internationally. This is the platform to be. We're open to collaboration. We don't charge any money. All our services are paid for pro bono. The services that will be paid for is like, if you have to go to Ogee Onazi now to do Discover You, then you have. So the network is a network that helps people generate income for themselves. We don't ask money from anybody, but we'll give you the opportunity to sell who you are, your product, your services, your career, and you make money for yourself and not for the network. So I'm using this opportunity to reach out to anybody who is interested in telling their stories, creating a workshop. We create workshop for women's leadership, sustainability, mental health, well-being, work-life balance, so many topics. We organize seminars here. Come and be one of our resource person. Bring your projects and your thoughts here so that we can work with you and make it together. So thank you for coming. You can find me on Facebook, Princess Nwakego Ibrahim-Pam, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Thread, and which other one? Please, when you find me, like me, click me, subscribe to me, and share so that we all will benefit from this sharing that they're doing on TikTok and everywhere, so that people can hear our voices and our stories. Thank you, and God bless you. So everybody on mute. This is time for interaction. If you can open your cameras, fine. If you cannot, thank you, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Thank you.